What's up, guys? Today we're here to look at the Apex Legends March 6 live balance update, the new patch notes for Apex Legends, and I kind of thought I'd just take a look at it together. Patch changes about balancing at respawn. I'll just read the TLDR. We make less frequent, better tested, higher impact changes in order to minimize the impacts of your time spent mastering the game. So basically what they're saying is that they will provide patch changes that include more content. So they won't do little patches, they'll just do one big patch every once in a while instead of little patches constantly. With the above philosophy in mind, they would like to give a quick update on where we stand in the current state of character, weapon balance, provide an early preview of the things we're planning to do. Weapon adjustments going live today on all platforms, so these changes are live. The Wingman rate of fire reduced from 3.1 to 2.6. That one is 0.5 fire rate reduction. Skull pierce headshot damage multiplier reduced from 2.5 to 2.25. Now this one I think is the one that's not that big of a deal. I think the rate of fire will probably have a larger impact on the overall usage of the Wingman versus the headshot pinch, because this is only a 0.25 change, or this is a 0.5 change, and also the fire rate is a little more important because this is just a headshot damage multiplier, and unless you're dizzy, you're not going to be hitting all of those headshots. Increased base hip fire spread and decrease the rate of fire which hip fire spread decays. That is, they don't say how much they increased it or decreased it by, but these two stats here are the most important, because if the hip fire spread is increased by something crazy like 30%, that's absurd. And if it's decreased, like, they don't give any numbers here, so this could be good or this could be bad. Honestly, playing in game with it, the hip fire isn't that bad, so I don't think they increased the fire spread too heavily. Okay, so now moving on to the Peacekeeper, we see the shotgun bolt rechamber rate has been reduced for the Peacekeeper only. I'm pretty sure the Peacekeeper is the best shotgun in the game besides the Mastiff, so that kind of makes sense, I guess, considering I think both of the, like the EV8 and the gun that's so bad I'm not even going to speak its name, yeah, they're terrible, so that makes sense they'd only affect the Peacekeeper. The mitigation 10%, 7.5%, 20%, 13, 25%, 16, 25, 16, yeah, so it gets worse as it goes up. Alright, so level 3 is pretty bad. Wingman Peacekeeper availability have been reduced in all zone tiers. That makes sense. That's the one change I really wanted. More with the Peacekeeper than the Wingman. I more wanted the Peacekeeper not be as available, but I'm okay with that Wingman change as well. Increased availability of energy weapons and ammo in all zone tiers. That just means I think they've realized that energy weapons are like the worst weapons in the game right now, so they're deciding to make them more common, which does make sense. This is what I really like about Respawn as a company, and this plan will go here. Wino P2020 or Mozambique buffs. We love y'all beak memes, so we're hesitant to lose that. In all seriousness, our goal is to have a power curve of weapons. Power curve just means that some weapons will be weaker and more common, others will be stronger and rarer. Perfect, makes perfect sense. Some weapons are intentionally less powerful until fully perped, with hop-ups and attachments, while other weapons on the bottom of the power curve are your early game, better than melee, but gotta upgrade out of ASAP weapons. I like this. I'm not gonna read the rest of it, but I really like how they're choosing to communicate, and I really like the words they're using. But they really they portray the information in such a way which makes you feel like, you know, they understand what it's like to play their game, and it seems like what their goal is to make Apex Legends the best game they can, and that's really great to see from just any company. Additional patch notes. Some script errors that we've identified were occasionally causing disconnects during matches, so some issues with the larger hitbox characters, Caustic, Pathfinder, Gibraltar. I don't think Pathfinder's hitbox is that big. Hitbox, words. Gibraltar occasionally causing disconnects while pulling out his gun shield. Oh no. Addressing character balance, addressing hitbox. Like, this picture is great. A great suit for this. TLDR, our goal is to be able to have different characters with different sizes, hitboxes, ability skills, and still have each character be roughly equal on power level, win rate, and viability of pick. This is good. I do think they should try to work towards having at least 2 classes in each squad. I think, of course, they know that. Like, I think right now, all the best teams usually involve a lifeline. I don't want to get to the point of where we're running all damage classes. And I also don't, although I don't want to have to run a certain class, I don't want to have to run a tank, for example, if I don't have, if there's no reason to. But I would like there to be a reason to play other classes. And right now there is, so that's great. Overall, we want to try and increase the power level of the large rig characters. Yeah, that's the thing they notice is that just landing shots in this game are so important that if you have a larger rig, you have a decent sized disadvantage, especially in long range combat. Or we consider large nerfs to everyone else. So this is a good. Basically, what they're saying is they like buffs over nerfs, which is, in my opinion, a great philosophy when it comes to gaming, because like there's two. I usually look at the extremes. So in an extreme case, if we buffed everyone into the sky, the game's still decently fun. But if we nerf everybody into the ground, the game will never be fun. That's why I lean more towards buffs over nerfs. Major balance changes. Hitbox size reductions and optimizations for Cossack, Pathfinder, and Gibraltar. This is good. I think what they mean by optimizations is more on the lines of reductions, but they say optimizations here just to know that it still suits the character model. We're better sizing hitboxes to character gear and model. That's awesome. Since these changes have a major impact on the game, we want to make sure there are not any major bugs, so we didn't want to rush them out. Awesome. If this adjustment proves to be insufficient, we'll consider additional adjustments during Season 1. Awesome. So they're also saying, they're contradicting their earlier statement by saying we want big patches, but they said if there's actually a problem, we will not be Blizzard, and we will adjust the change and we will change it. Awesome. So before we read these here, which you can kind of start looking at these now, the main issues that they should be addressing before we go in is they should be focusing more on Cossack and Gibraltar, because those two are, on everyone's mind, the worst two legends in the game. So let's just get those two fixed. Let's do it. Minor balance changes. So this is, by the way, this is minor because they're talking, the hitboxes are the major changes. They didn't really say anything about the hitboxes. I would suggest going onto Reddit and looking at these hitboxes because there's probably something on those. Minor balance changes. Cossack traps reduction and cooldown to 25 seconds from 30 seconds. That is really good for Cossack. Yeah, I agree with this change. I would even say 20 seconds. Would be good if you want to make him more viable, but 25 is good. I wouldn't go anything lower than 20. Increase radius and proximity radius by about 10%. I would consider increasing the proximity radius by more, just because I feel like that was the one that everyone cared about. The radius of it actually, of the gas being shot out, I don't think was anyone's real concern. It was the proximity radius that it actually took to trigger the trap. Traps. Remove a 1 second delay on the smoke dealing damage to players. Yeah, this is a really good change on the bottom. This one there's nothing they could have done better, like, in regards to this one change. This is like the best move they could have made for Cossack. But of course, Cossack's a weird legend because they want him to be good, but the kind of character that he is, he can't be too good, or he's going to become really annoying and unfun to play against. So he has to be mid-tier. Like, he's not the best, he's not the worst, he's there. But with characters like Bloodhound that counter him, like, he's in a good spot. So I'm glad that they're not going super crazy with changing Cossack to make him, like, super viable. They're just trying to play it safe, because Cossack could be you know, a Teemo, right? Like, it's you gotta be careful. Pathfinder. Insider knowledge. Increase the number of beacons in the world from 12 to 12 from 10. It's kind of weird how they say the bigger number first. Anyways, this is good. Definitely good. I don't really know if it'll have that much of an effect on Pathfinder's viability, because it's not really that big of a change, just adding 2 beacons. But yeah. Lifeline Care Package. Removed slight chance that level 4 armor and helmets will drop. This change I don't... Okay. I am going to say that since Lifeline is one of the characters I play a lot, I don't know about this change specifically. I'm leaning towards the realm of this is a good change, but part of me still like, really? Like, the level 4 stuff... But yeah, I don't really know. I would say just because Lifeline is so good right now, that maybe this would make sense. But I don't know. In my world, I wouldn't remove it. I would just reduce the slight chance to be even more slight. But that's just me. Wraith Into the Void cooldown increased from 20 to 25 seconds. I don't really think this change needed to be made. Wraith has always been kind of a pub stompy character. She's been like a character if you want to just destroy new players at the game. So that might be why they removed it, because Apex Legends is still a relatively new game and they don't want new players to be frustrated by really good Wraiths. So that could be why they made this change. Overall, I don't really think they need to do this, but I don't really like this change, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm like neutral, slightly negative. Bangalore, double time reduced move speed bonus to 30 from 40. This makes sense, I believe. I don't remember how much Wraiths and Bloodhounds speed when they go into their ults. I don't know exactly what the increase is, but Bangalore had a 40% movement speed increase from taking damage in double time, and that's just a passive. It's not even an ult. So that does make sense. I am quite happy. And Bangalore was already pretty top tier in the realm of Apex Legends. I would have put her in my top 3 probably. Anyways. That is all the patches this time. By the way, March 6th patch, in case you guys skipped around the video. Thank you so much for joining me in today's patch. I'm trying to put out more Apex Legends content, so if you like Apex Legends content, please feel free to like and subscribe. This is just something I'm going to do every once in a while when a new patch note comes out, because, like they said, they're going to be less frequent, so don't expect these videos too constantly, but when there is patches, I will make sure to pump these out. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.